Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're once again back in Warframe for another build, and this time we're having a look at the Lato Vandal. And to be more specific, this is the Incarnon version of the weapon because it's the only one that's actually good. At base, this is your usual semi-auto sidearm with a very average fire rate and okay damage, but it's nothing too special. But in Incarnon form, it transforms into a monster that deals a lot of AoE damage and a lot of damage in general, and is able to deal with very high level enemies in a matter of seconds. Anyways, that's enough introductions for now, so let's jump into the build. Starting from the Incarnon evolutions, we have of course evolution 1, which is your actual Incarnon form. To activate the Incarnon form, you have to press your Alt fire button when you have enough Incarnon charge. You obtain Incarnon charge by hitting weak points on enemies. When the Incarnon form is active, you gain ricochet and punch through on your weapon. Moving to the second evolution, we have two choices, but the only really good one I think it's Wraithfade Bane, and this is because it grants you 12 base damage, and on reload from empty you gain an additional 30 base damage. If you plan on running a Warframe that usually has Overshield active all the time, I recommend going for Heaven Foray, but this is more situational. Then we have Evolution 3, and here we have three choices, but I went for Void's Guidance for plus accuracy and less weapon recoil. The other two choices aren't exactly of my liking, and I think they're just not that great in general. And for Evolution 4, we also have three choices, but I went for Survivor Edge for more crit chance and status chance. The other two evolutions aren't exactly of my liking, and I still think this is the best in general. You can also go for Carnage Drain, but this is very situational as well, and I don't suggest using it unless you really build for it. And the same goes for Death Trap Trigger. Those were the Incarnon evolutions. Let's now move on to base stats. The Lato Vandal has a fire rate of 5 and a magazine of 15, which means you will empty your magazine very often, but luckily it only has 1 second of reload, which means it's not that bad to use. The Revamp disposition on this weapon is 5 out of 5, so Revamps are going to be incredibly strong, and I do recommend going for one, because they are first of all probably very cheap, and they will make your weapon a lot better than it is. The normal fire mode has a crit chance of 32% with a critical multiplier of 2.4x, which are both above average, status chance of 22%, and the weapon mostly deals slash damage for a total of 58. In Incarnon form, the weapon has a fire rate of 4 and a multi-shot of 2, 0.8 meters of punch through, and it can hold a maximum of 24 charges, which means you have 24 bullets while in Incarnon form. Crit chance goes all the way up to 40%, and crit multiplier goes all the way up to 3x. Status chance goes down to 16%, but it becomes status per projectile, which means every pellet we fire with the weapon has a 16% chance to trigger any of the statuses. This fire mode still deals mainly slash damage for a total of 236. And these are the mods I use for the build. Magnetic Might for magnetic damage and more critical damage, Galvanized Diffusion for more multi-shot and on kill even more multi-shot, Galvanized Crosshairs for more crit chance when I hit headshots for 12 seconds while aiming, and on headshot kill even more crit chance, Prime Target Cracker for more crit damage, Creeping Bullseye for even more crit chance at the cost of fire rate, Galvanized Shot for 80% status chance and on kill 40% direct damage per status type affected target up to 3 stacks, Semi-Pistol Cannonade for 300% more damage and 1.5 meters of punch through, and Scorch for more hit damage and status chance. Since we are running Semi-Pistol Cannonade, we cannot modify our fire rate, and that means that the negative 20% fire rate on Creeping Bullseye is now useless and won't affect us at all. This also means we are stuck with our fire rate, but it's 5, which is pretty okay, and it's 4 on the Incarnon form, which is also right. And then I'm using Steady Hands for 60% less weapon recoil. The arcane I went for is Cascadia Flare, because this is the arcane that grants you the most amount of damage. In fact, we gain up to 480%, and the only condition is to apply hit status effect on enemies, which with this weapon is quite easy because we are hitting many enemies at once, and the projectiles have a lot of status chance. And that's pretty much the whole build, so let's now see it in action. Alright, as always we have here our 20 corrupted heavy gunners, level 225, with steel plat modifiers, and they are going to be our test subjects. And yeah, let's just start firing and charging our Incarnon meter, which is the white bar underneath my scope. Then we want to press our Alt fire to transfer the weapon into its Incarnon form, which does look quite snazzy. And then we can just hit headshots and kill enemies. The fire rate again is only 4, not too great, but it's not bad either. And the moment we hit enough headshots and kill enough enemies with headshots, we start dealing a lot of damage. We only have 24 bullets, keep that in mind. That might be annoying, but it's not too bad. And I mean, honestly, the weapon deals enough damage to double shot pretty much all the enemies we are shooting, other than some very tanky ones, or maybe acolytes. But yeah, this is pretty much what you can expect from this build. It's quite powerful, And the only annoying thing again is that the weapon only has 24 charges while in Incarnon form. Now let's also add our pet, in this case my Panzer Rupafila, with this build, which grants us an additional 1.2x crit damage multiplier on our weapons, and this pet can also spread viral and even armor shape enemies, so yeah, it's quite a powerful little thing to have around, and in general this is my go-to pet. I use this guy for pretty much everything, and this is the build for the claws, which is yeah, just a lot of damage in the form of electricity. Let's now see what happens when we also have viral on enemies, and I mean, as you can expect, with viral, everything is gonna just become like probably as difficult as cutting through butter. So yeah, it's gonna be usually a one-shot on anything. If it's not a one-shot, heat procs should deal enough damage to kill whatever you're in front of. So yeah, that's pretty much how it works. And finally, let's also test with Roar. And well, in that case, it's just one-shots all over the place. It does not really matter. Even your ricochets will probably one-shot enemies. We are dealing thousands and thousands of damage, and enemies are quite weak because they have no armor, and they're also affected by viral. So yeah, it's actually a pretty good weapon. We also don't even have our Cascade Affair fully stacked yet, so yeah, this can just become stronger and stronger the more you stay in the mission. And yeah, that's pretty much the Lato Vandal. Of course, if you have it and if you want to use the Lato Prime, go for that one. It's pretty much the same as this one. It might have some small changes, but yeah, it's also a very good weapon to run. And this build will work perfectly fine. I'm actually really surprised about this weapon's power, and I wasn't expecting it to deal this good with these enemies, but after a bit of testing, yeah, I can just say this weapon is actually pretty good. Anyways, I'll now leave you guys to the showcase where I test this build for 5 minutes in a steel path survival, so you can see how it performs in a more realistic scenario. If you enjoyed the video, remember to leave a like, and if you like my content, consider subscribing. I wish you a beautiful rest of the day, without cats being bugged on the stairs, and bye-bye.
Staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. If it's a problem, I'll go to the bar and I shut it down.
Get out my section, don't bother with lanes. I'm watching these bunnies bounce. Shorty, you 10, the rubber band, come on for the 100 pound. All of the talk, but don't run them out. I'm trying to be out. All I really wanna know, when we leaving. All I really need to know is when we leaving. All I really wanna know, when we leaving. All I really need to know is when we leaving. Let's go. When this money we partying, pick it up. Too many bottles we bodying. It ain't enough. Give me the check, I give them the plastic. Don't gotta flex, I know what you asking. You need a lift, you look like you crashing. Here it come. What's in my cup? On the top shelf.